Hey guys, this is Odd1 Gaming. This is going to be another King Arthur Legends Rise video. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how I managed to beat one of the most difficult challenges that I have found so far in this game, and that's going to be the campaign, specifically stage 10-7. I know and I've seen it and I've heard everybody struggling with this boss fight, and I kind of get it, right? Especially if you don't already have several people at 6-star, you know, level 60s, ascended, higher and all that, it can be a little bit difficult. So pretty much the team that I used was, I guess, a fully free-to-play team. Maybe like, you know, Isolde, I guess, is arguably not free-to-play. However, I have a strong feeling that Isolde can be replaced with whoever's your best healer, right? You don't necessarily need her. However, you know, that's what I use because I got her and she's the designated healer for me that I chose to level up. But again, I'm 100% sure it can work with any other of the healers. Now, let's have a look because I just pre-recorded it over here like you see in the background. It did require a few tries. It did require, you know, some trial and error, some failures, some RNG, and if you want to do it in the same way or like, you know, with the same level of heroes build, same way that I have, then you're gonna require some good RNG. Honestly, I do believe that even with having all level 60s, if the gear is not extremely strong, if you don't have stuff leveled up a lot, you're still gonna require some RNG, right? But the way that it worked for me and the RNG that I needed, and I believe, again, this is what worked for me, so that's why I'm making this video to share it with you, but the RNG that worked for me was the fact of having, first of all, one of my main DPS out, right? One of the best ones, which in my case was Kay. She was 60, as you can see in the video over here. And that basically allowed me to be able to free up the first one out of the ones digested, right? Because the fight starts, you have several people being digested, and that's problematic. But then once you start freeing them up, it gets a little bit better. However, the next thing that required me some good RNG is to have my healer be the first one freed up, okay? Or if it's not the first one, at least, you know, worst case scenario, be the second one to be freed out, because otherwise my people cannot self-sustain themselves. Maybe if I had like everybody in drain sets, like you see that my K is actually in a drain set, which pretty much is a life steal set. Every time she deals damage, she heals based on a percentage of the damage that she dealt. But without having that, it's pretty difficult to stay alive. This boss hits extremely hard. Like you see, it looks scary. It looks like I'm, you know, pretty much close to dying any second here, right? I'm close to dying any second here, but I'm you know, I'm still surviving. Again, it is the RNG of what does the boss hit, when does it hit, who does it hit, you know, what's the chances of you landing your stuff or the boss landing stuff. It's, you know, it's several layers of RNG involved in here. However, with some decent builds and a couple of tries, it's actually going to work. Now, the reason why I chose to go with this team specifically is, you know, there's two reasons. Reason number one, it's free-to-play friendly, right? This is the most relatable I could do for the sake of a video. Because at the end of the day, when I'm making videos, I'm trying to make it as relatable to people as possible so that everybody can pretty much try and use the same team and actually beat it. I'm going to show the builds at the end and all that, so don't you worry. But that's the first reason. The second reason, they're actually really good, right? Morgan and Tristan, obviously they are legendaries, we get them for free, they're amazing, but they have really powerful kits for this fight, especially, you know, especially both of them. They're pretty good for most fights when you can control the boss. What do I mean by that? Well, Tristan has on his basic attack and on his A3, let's call it, right? Ultimate, I don't know how we're gonna call it. I'm just gonna call them ability 1, 2, and 3. So I'm gonna call his third one A3. But Tristan has attack speed down. You can see that it's landed over there. He has it on the basic and on the ultimate. I never used his A2, just the A1 and A3. Putting that attack speed down, you see that I focus with Tristan the boss, so boss goes as little as possible, but pretty much having that attack speed down means the boss is not gonna go as often, and by doing that, it allows my people to rotate, it allows my healer to heal, my K to do damage, and then same principle, my Morgan to bring out some more damage. Now when we're talking about Morgan, she has the same principle. You're gonna see now, see that A2 has a chance of pushing back the attack gauge, right? Doing that again, it pushes back the turn of the boss, which means we can do more. We can hit the boss more. So it's kind of like these two together, Morgan plus Tristan, especially because they're free. They're just amazing because they are very, very good control heroes, and it allows us to deal with the fight itself. Now, I didn't know if I should just straight up go for the boss or start with the eyes, but honestly I just started killing the eyes because you can see that the boss keeps doing AoE. So I said, you know what, let me start focusing the eyes. But you saw over here, even though Tristan, you know, I could have killed this eye straight up, I saw that this one's not gonna die. I saw that I was gonna get a turn, so I said, you know what, let me continue landing with Tristan the attack speed on the boss. And that allowed me to, you know what, to rotate through my people. I killed one of the side ones, and I'm still ready to go. The funny thing that I found over here, maybe I'm just wrong, but it seems like the second part of the fight is a lot easier. I don't know, did you guys get to the second part and find it more difficult? Because for me, it kind of seems like this first part was the hard one, right? Getting people to be released after they were devoured, clearing that fear, and, you know, getting the good RNG of not being feared, that was more difficult. Now, when it comes to Morgan's skills, you see that I pretty much focus with Morgan to do, especially when they're both of the eyes out, I focused to do that A2 more because I kept wanting to push the boss's attack gauge back. Now, when it's just a boss, I did ultimate because this one brings us the damage taken. You see the second thing that appears over there is damage taken, which means the boss is going to take 40% more damage. Now, because I have that, I went full on with all the damage on the boss. However, you see that, you know, the jaws disappear, so I had to do that anyway. But pretty much after I got past the middle part, once the boss procced and I guess changed form or whatever, I just went full on damage on the main head, on the boss, to just try and kill it as soon as possible. But you see, again, this phase doesn't look as difficult anymore. It's like, you know, this one's so much easier. The boss keeps charging, but I have enough damage between Morgan, Tristan, and Kay that I'm good to go. I'm good to go. I'm not gonna be worried about this one. I'd like to keep using Kay's A2 because she gives buffs to herself. She gives buffs to the team, so that allows me to do more damage instead of using that A3. I use the A3 only when there's like some other stuff on the side that I want to kill. But as soon as we got past this stage, you see this is pretty much over. I killed the boss and that was GG, right? It was difficult, but again, let me show you the RNG that you need, right? So the RNG that I had was start off with the first one being left out was my best DPS, which in my case, I guess is K. I'm quite sure to work with Tristan as well, or Morgan if they're built well enough. You just want to free up the first one. And if it takes you a long time to get to the second one, you want your first one to be freed from digestion, to be the healer, because that way you can keep, you know, healing yourself and you can keep going doing the damage. Now let's quickly have a look at the builds of the people that I have. So when it comes to relics, everybody's gonna have basic relics, nothing's changed, no hero level ups, no nothing, the awakenings as you can see. But then when it comes to equipment, I have my Morgan with speed and life sets, and then let me just show you her total stats, right? Speed and life gives her attack speed so that she can go more often, obviously do her skills. Didn't focus much on damage, just mostly, like I said, speed and keeping her alive. Then the next one is gonna be K. K is obviously more damage. I don't have crazy crit rate because we're not at the point where we have insane gear, but K was running a drain set and a defense. Drain is pretty good because this one, like I said, lifesteal, she keeps herself alive, she keeps doing that lifesteal, and she's because she can do some decent damage in there, she's gonna be able to heal up pretty fine. As you noticed, she does have 2 relics as well, because I kind of focused her. Are they called relics? I think they're called relics, right? What are they called over here? I don't know. Let's no relics, sorry, just the other side of the gear, like, I don't know, accessories, I guess we could call them. She does have a belt and she does have a orb that I forged. I specifically forged stuff for her because I focused her first, like I mentioned, to try and be my main damage dealer, because you know what, she's pretty good. Like, I remember when I streamed, people were like, K is not that good, I wouldn't focus her. Well, she's actually pretty good because she does a ton of damage. She has AoE hits that are extremely important for some campaign fights. So I guess, you know what, just level K up. Don't listen to everybody. I would still level K up as one of your first 6 stars, and especially because she's a rare, it's easier to level her up and invest in her as opposed to legendaries that pretty much need double the resources. But let's move on to the next one. Then we're talking about Tristan. He's in attack speed and critical strike rate, right? Tristan is all about that attack speed, right? He's all about the speed. Every single kit, if you look at his relic, it says gives him attack speed. Then over here, deals more based on the attack speed, extra damage. On the ultimate, extra damage based on attack speed. Plus, you want him to go as often as possible, so he constantly lands the attack speed decrease on the A3 and on the A1. So that's why I went with these sets. Total stats for him, as you can see, again, attack speed, some HP, some attack. I do have a pretty high crit rate on him. I think it was one of these ones was a crit rate base. Yep, the ranks were crit rate, so he did some decent damage. However, he's not 6-star yet, so he couldn't do as much as K. And then also when it comes to the belt, I just have an effect accuracy and attack speed one. It's not the best, it's a 2-star, but it helps, right? Extra stats does help us. And then the last one of the team, which was my Assault, she's running a Vigor set. And then honestly, I don't even have another complete set because I didn't have good stats on her. But these are her total stats. You see the HP, the effect resist is pretty high, which is good. But pretty much you want on your healer, from my point of view, to have the Vigor set so they come back to their healing as often as possible. As an example, for somebody like Isolde that has, in this form, in the Frost Relic, she has the healing, or the better healing on the battle skill. I don't think she does healing on the ultimate. No healing on the ultimate, and then I think nothing on the basic attack. Yeah, so there's nothing. I think maybe just some passive stuff, but pretty much because she has the healing on her A2, with the Vigor set, she always does the A2. When she gets a turn, she does A2, A2, A2. So she will constantly heal by 3.8% of her max HP, and she will constantly land the recovery over time, which means 5% healing every time they get a turn. So that's why I believe this is really powerful. Again, doesn't have to be her, whoever's gonna be your healer, just make sure you give them the Vigor set, and then if you can complement that with an HP set, because from what I've seen, most healers heal based off of their max HP. So you want as much HP as you can get with the Vigor, you should be fine, right? You should be fine. It just might be getting the right RNG, getting some different stats. You see that most of the gear, by the way, is 3 and 4-star, right? So I did have to farm some gear to be able to push some other content, but you know what, it's totally worth it. It's totally worth farming the gear, and I like that it has this layer of difficulty, right? I don't like when I just come in the game and blast everything. It becomes boring to me. So having this layer of difficulty for, so far, honestly, every content that I've done is like, okay, I cannot be campaign stage 7, let me go back to the Penvade, do some more awakenings, let me go back to Gorgos, get myself some more XP and some more gold, let me go and do some gear dungeons, do some forging, try to improve my people, and then try and push again. So yeah, this was pretty much the team that I used. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think this team is pretty free-to-play relatable or not? I honestly believe it is, because apart from having to pull an Assault, which again, I strongly believe it can be any healer, everybody else we get for free. But anyway, we're gonna leave it at this for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.